With Halo coming to PlayStation, that pretty much ends the idea of Xbox having any notable exclusives going forward. Ended the console wars have. We'll dig into it on Next Gen Console Watch coming up after these messages. Welcome back to Next Gen Console Watch, our show following all the latest gaming hardware. I'm Jim Hadfield, and joining me this week are Ryan McCaffrey, host of Podcast Unlocked, Max Scoville, host of Podcast Beyond, and Logan Plant, host of Nintendo Voice Chat. And late last week, Xbox announced something that had been rumored for a long time, but was still a little shocking. Xbox is remaking the original Halo for Xbox, PC, and PlayStation 5. Obviously, Xbox has been publishing its games on PlayStation for a while now and has found great success on the platform, stuff like Forza Horizon 5 and the Oblivion remaster. Gears of War is now on PlayStation, but Halo was the last holdout. It's true that Halo is not the juggernaut that it once was for Xbox, but it defined the Xbox brand, certainly in the 2000s, to a lesser extent in the 2010s as well. Master Chief was Microsoft's Mario, and now it's bringing the IP that is most associated with Xbox to PlayStation. When you combine this with Microsoft's current messaging that everything is an Xbox, the fact they let someone else make the first Xbox handheld, and heavy hints from leadership that the next Xbox console will basically be a PC that can play a bunch of PlayStation games, it kind of looks like Xbox is just done competing with Sony on a hardware level. Ryan, I'll throw to you first. What do you make of all this?
Well, I got to go up to Halo Studios to do our preview to see this thing in action. Now, I haven't actually seen it running on a PlayStation 5 yet. They did only have an Xbox Series X build for us. So while I have not yet beheld it with my own eyes, there's just something about this one, Daemon, that like Gears Reloaded, that's not even a remake. That's kind of more just another remaster. Mm-hmm. Like that one was a little weird. Don't get me wrong, because Gears has always been an Xbox franchise as well, from the time that Epic originally developed it to when Microsoft bought it. But yeah, Halo, like you said, I mean, without Halo, there is no Xbox. Like, I don't think anybody would dispute that if you just look back in history. If Halo had not been this killer app, I'm not sure the Xbox survives long enough to get to an Xbox 360, a second console. So yeah, it's real weird. It's got to be at least on the level of Sonic on Nintendo console weird, and possibly even weirder. That one's a little more up for debate, but yeah, I mean, I know you could say, well, this is only a remake of an old thing. Wait until we see whenever we get a proper new Halo, if that's coming to PlayStation, and it will. I mean, they've every quote from Satya Nadella and Microsoft leadership from the very top down has suggested that exclusivity is over. Like, they are putting every game on every platform they can. Although there's still some even weirdness about that, Daemon, because Avowed from this year, still not on PlayStation. Keeper, which everybody should go play, whether you either are still subscribing to Game Pass Ultimate for $30 a month, or if you're not, just go pay $30 for it. It's a phenomenal 6-hour game. Those are, for the moment, Xbox exclusive. And Forza Horizon 6, which just got announced last month at TGS. Of course, it's set in Japan. After that game topped the sales charts years later because of the PlayStation 5 version, you'd think, okay, well, yeah, Forza Horizon makes a ton of sense as just, okay, day one multi-platform, put it everywhere game. But no, like, that's going to be a timed Xbox exclusive. So the strategy is multi-platform for them now, but they're choosing these what now seem like strange exceptions to that. So it's all still a little weird, Daemon, but it just hasn't sunk in for me yet, even though I did the preview and I've talked to Halo Studios about it, and seeing the official PlayStation account on Twitter tweet about welcoming Master Chief to the platform and promoting Halo on the PlayStation Twitter account, it just sent me, man. Like, part of me died inside. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I have every console, I play everything, but I've covered Xbox since almost the very, very beginning. And it's just like, I never thought we would get to this day, but here we are.
Yeah. Strange times for sure. Max, Forza and Oblivion are huge hits on PS5. I would argue that Halo and Master Chief are even more recognizable brands. So do you expect Halo to be, find success on PlayStation, even though its real heyday, I think, was 2001 to 2010-ish?
I definitely think it'll sell well. I don't know if it'll sell, bonkers numbers. I think the fact that it is kind of a nostalgia play at the same way that it is an onboarding play for a new audience. There's definitely a generation of gamer that played this game when it came out, and I would say I have no even ballpark estimate how many people migrated to PS4, but just looking at the sales number, the 360 did amazingly early on, and it was, running circles around the PS3. And then the following generation, Xbox shot themselves in the foot with the Xbox One, and a lot of people jumped ship.
It's about
PS4.
30 million, Max. It's about 30 million.
There we go, yeah. So I don't know if 30 million people are going to just immediately throw down money to buy a remake of Halo, but there is a sizable audience that isn't necessarily, diehard console fanboys. There's a lot of people who are kind of agnostic, and they kind of go with where the trends are taking them. And again, Halo is a formative game. It's a phenomenal shooter, and there is plenty of people who are like, oh, hell yeah, I will totally do this all over again. And there's also a large audience that on PlayStation that maybe never did, and they're like, okay, I want to see what the big deal is. And yeah, it's got a fresh coat of paint, which is awesome. I can't help but feel like it doesn't quite have the same new car smell, pardon the pun, that something like Forza Horizon 5 or Oblivion Remastered would have, because those are, more recent games where I feel like, and again, I think there probably is also some portion of the PlayStation audience that won't even be caught dead playing this game. Even if it was on like PlayStation Plus, they're just like, no, don't want to do it.
That's an interesting possibility that hasn't happened yet. Xbox games being on PlayStation Plus. It'll be interesting to see if or when that happens. Correct me if I'm wrong, Halo Campaign Evolved is also going to be crossplay. So you'll be able to have Xbox, PC, and PlayStation players playing together cooperatively. Halo, what a time to be alive. But sorry, Logan, no Halo for you.
Yeah, what a bummer. We were supposed to get Halo on like Nintendo DS 20 years ago. Where is it? Mm-hmm. It'd be a perfect fit. I'm honestly a little surprised at just the strategy of what Campaign Evolved is, that it's not the Master Chief Collection going everywhere. It's just the first game, just the campaign. When I think of Halo, I think of the multiplayer. I love the campaigns too, but the multiplayer is so iconic. So it's a little surprising this is the introduction they're giving PlayStation players.
Yeah, Ryan, what's your take on that? Did you ask them why multiplayer is not included?
Yeah, they gave me, to just be perfectly blunt with you, and I put this in my preview as well, which is on IGN or on our YouTube channel if you'd like to check it out. But I got a very media trained non-answer about that, because I agree, Logan. If you're gonna, because Max is right. This is part nostalgia play, mostly for the Xbox crowd. It's certainly a nostalgia play. For the PlayStation crowd, sure, you've got a lot of folks that did have a 360 that maybe even had an original Xbox that defected over to Sony with PS4 when Microsoft dropped all the balls with the Xbox One. But for those new players, those new PlayStation players that you're trying to introduce to Halo, how can you not include multiplayer in this when that was the last thing? Nothing. The campaign's phenomenal. No Halo fan would say that the campaign isn't good or isn't amazing for that matter. But it's that multiplayer that kept everybody coming back. I mean, capture the flag on Blood Gulch, and single flag CTF on Hang 'em High. There's just to not have the multiplayer be a part of this is a significant disappointment to me.
It feels like if they put like the original Avatar back in theaters but didn't have 3D, you get a bunch of people who are like, all right, what's the big deal? And there's something just fundamentally missing from it. I'm kind of surprised that they're not. I was thinking Halo Infinite would get ported over, and I guess it still could, but that's got that whole multiplayer suite surrounding it. They obviously want that to be a big live service thing, but yeah, the multiplayer side just being co-op is. Yeah, I don't know. Is that gonna click for people? Is that gonna scratch that nostalgia itch for the older players?
Well, Logan, Xbox's Sarah Bond recently called exclusives antiquated, and I believe it was a former Blizzard exec that had a response to something like, "Well, tell that to Nintendo." And sure, I think if your exclusives aren't selling your hardware, then you probably would think that the idea of exclusives is antiquated, but it usually works for Nintendo, and I don't see that changing anytime in the future. How about you?
Oh, absolutely not. No, that's you nailed it. That statement from Xbox is like PR spin to make them look like the good guys for putting their games everywhere, and evil Nintendo and PlayStation. Why are they still doing this outdated thing? No, if they were moving 30, 40, 50, 60 million units like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Animal Crossing New Horizons do, then they would keep them exclusive as well. And Nintendo's most important asset is that stable of characters. Their first-party games drive their hardware business because they are less powerful than the others. They have the hybrid model going, but everyone else is starting to do that too. So really it is the Zeldas, the Marios, the Donkey Kong Bonanzas. That's the stuff that really keeps the whole thing turning.
So the Switch did get some Xbox games. Got Pentiment, Grounded, and then they got Tony Hawk 3 and 4 this summer. And the next year are going to be Indiana Jones and the Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition. So do you feel good about having Xbox on your Switch? Even though you're not getting Halo?
Yeah, I feel great about it. Yeah, I really hope Halo is close behind, because that is my favorite Xbox franchise by far. But no, I think it's really good. And the third-party stuff we're seeing on Switch too, it's been a little shaky here in the first 6 months, but I feel like it's starting to stabilize a little bit, and some of the upcoming ports look really, really good. Some of the Xbox ones, and this isn't Microsoft, but like Resident Evil 9 is looking fantastic on Switch too. So I think it's in a pretty good spot.
Yeah, I don't know if, Logan, you can probably answer this. Has Unreal Engine 5 shown up on Switch 2 yet? I mean, I know it's super early in the lifespan, but I wonder if it is
I'm not sure.
Technical issue with this Campaign Evolved remake not going to Switch 2.
Yeah, that was my thought too. Ryan, they haven't announced the price for Halo Campaign Evolved. It's a remake of a 25-year-old game that it doesn't include the multiplayer. I know in your in your write-up you said it felt like maybe a $50 game.
Yeah, but
what do you think they'll go with?
I also feel like Game Pass Ultimate is a $20 a month service. So, you know, what I think and what Microsoft thinks may not be the same thing.
Yeah.
But to seriously answer your question, yeah, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they try to charge full price for this. I don't think they're going to make that mistake. It might still cost more than I think it should, because again, $50 feels right to me. But by the time this comes out, because to be fair, they have not given a release date, but it is coming out in the year of the 25th anniversary of Halo. So if it's not coming out pretty close to November, I'll be stunned. So it's by that time, Microsoft may have gone ahead and made the push to $80 first party games, which, as I think we've talked about on this show before, they already tried with Outer Worlds 2, which just came out and is excellent, by the way. But the community wholeheartedly rejected that. That was not the game for Microsoft to try and say, our games are $80 now. Like, no disrespect to Obsidian or to the Outer Worlds 2, excellent game, but that's not the one. Like Mario Kart, Nintendo, like, people are just gonna pay it. They're gonna gripe about it, and we did, and they have. But people are going to pay $80 for the new Mario Kart. They're not going to do that for the Outer Worlds 2, but with all the kind of big guns lined up for Microsoft next year, you've got the Fable reboot, long in development from the super talented folks at Playground. You've got Forza Horizon 6. You've got Gears of War E-Day. So with those three all coming next year, I wouldn't be surprised if Microsoft tries to go to 80. I hope they don't, because that's just a lot of money. And but if they do, then I could see this remake, this Halo 1 remake, being 60. Still think it should be 50, but we'll just have to see what happens.
Halo on PlayStation now going forward, and then also executives at Xbox keep dropping hints that the next console is going to be basically a PC. You can stay in the Xbox ecosystem if you want, but you can also boot out to Windows and then play everything on Steam, which including all the PlayStation games there. Then there's Nintendo, which is just full-on exclusives. You cannot play our games anywhere else. You have to have a Switch 2 to play these games. And then PlayStation is kind of in the middle, where they still have their exclusives. They're putting them on PC, but not day one. So they're kind of like one foot in, 1 foot out. We have an opportunity now where this next gen, we could have three kind of really distinctly different consoles, whereas previously the PlayStation and Xbox have both been very similar. Max, what do you think? PlayStation continues to find a lot of success, even though they're not putting out nearly as many games as Xbox. And there's not a lot of news. There's been a lot of news about Xbox this year. Not all of it good, but they are constantly in the news cycle. You expect PlayStation to just stay the course?
I think that's a safe bet. I mean, they're doing fine in the console department. They feel like the only console manufacturer that's kind of just staying on course in terms of how they're approaching things. Notwithstanding the weird PlayStation Portal handheld thing. That said, the slight little exploration into PC territory is really interesting. I thought the PC ports of games, that's one thing. I think it was the most recent showcase they put out, the State of Play. They announced new speakers that were desktop speakers specifically, which I thought was a really kind of, to put that front and center in a PlayStation presentation when those could just be plain old Sony branded, but they are in fact, they work with your PC. Oh, and by the way, your PlayStation 2 if you're so inclined. I thought that was kind of odd. But yeah, I mean, they've become the go-to place for basically all third-party games. And you can play stuff on Series X as well. But as Microsoft is so quick to kind of encourage, you can also just buy a controller and hook it up to an Amazon Fire Stick and play it streamed if you want, or you can buy a $1,000 gaming PC that has an Xbox logo on it that's not made by Xbox. Like, they're kind of doing a lot of different things. They're trying a bunch of different experimental stuff. But at the end of the day, it's really funny that there's so many eyebrows raised about Master Chief making his way onto PlayStation, because I'd like to point out that the original PlayStation mascot, a Mr. Crash Bandicoot, was usurped by those fiends at Activision and then subsequently absorbed by Microsoft. So you've had our mascot for a cool minute, Ryan. We can have yours over for a play date, all right?
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's good. On the subject of exclusives, Logan, this just occurred to me. This is an idea that I like a lot, although I know it would never happen. I just want to hear your thoughts. Nintendo, it's IP, super important to it, never going to share it. However, what if, remember the NES Classic?
Yeah.
A digital collection of those games put out on PlayStation and Xbox. I think that would be awesome, and people would love it. What do you think? Yeah,
people would love it. It'll never happen. That'd be great, though. But yeah, it'll absolutely never happen.
They're just NES games. Come on.
No. Yeah, but they bundle in with that subscription service, Switch Online, that they sell you for $20 or $50 every year. That's the only way that you can get those nowadays. I don't know, if anything, I don't think this is going to happen either, but they're really pushing new mobile apps these days. Every single month, seemingly, they publish a new app. They have a news app. They have their own music streaming app, service now. It's more likely that there's Super Mario Brothers on phones, but I still don't think that's even ever going to happen.
There's Mario Run. But
there is that they sold for $10 and everyone couldn't believe it.
Well, interesting times. Lots to watch as the generation continues to unfold and we creep closer to the next generation. So we have a poll for you to vote on for next episode. We want to know, do you think our console exclusive is still important? Yes, no, or maybe you're a multi-platform gamer, so it doesn't matter to you. Make sure to vote at IGN.com the day this episode goes live. We'll share the results with you next episode, just like we can last week's poll. What's the scariest video game horror franchise? And Silent Hill came in number 1, beating out Resident Evil. Resident Evil was about 30%. Dead Space was right behind that, and then there was a pretty big drop-off to Dark Pictures Anthology and Five Nights at Freddy's. Maybe the core IGN audience, not the core audience for Five Nights at Freddy's. All right, if you're looking for something to play right now that helps support a great cause, head over to Humble. Live now through November 4th. Grab 8 incredible games for just $14.99, including Atomic Heart, V Rising, System Shock, Story of Seasons, Pioneers of All of Town, Cryptmaster, Pharaoh A New Era, Hotel Renovator, and Caravan Sandwich. Every purchase supports the Whale and Dolphin Conservation, the leading global charity dedicated to protecting whales and dolphins through research, rescue, and advocacy. By joining in, you're not just building your library, you're helping create a world where every whale and dolphin is safe and free. And don't miss this limited time deal. New members can get 1 month of Humble Choice for just $10 with the code SPOOKY25. Good code. Available now from October 29th through November 4th. And that's our show. Thank you to Max, Ryan, and Logan for joining me today. Thank you to everyone working behind the scenes to make this episode possible. My name is Daemon, and we'll be back next week with more on the latest in gaming hardware. We'll see you then.